Hello and welcome everyone to this NLP video tutorial. My name is Mubashir and I am a master's student and currently working as a data scientist in Germany. I have created this channel to share my learning and experiences and to contribute to the scientific society by making videos on the latest topics and technologies in my free time. Previously, I did a hands-on tutorial on computer vision where I explained in detail on how to train your own object detection model using a new efficient methodology called image segmentation, how you can train a machine learning model on your own custom dataset to detect indoor objects like cups, chairs, lamps, fan, etc. If you're interested in machine learning, specifically in the application of computer vision, you might want to go check that out. In this NLP video tutorial, we are going to explore another machine learning application called NLP, or Natural Language Processing. But first, I want to give you an overview about this project. So in one of my previous internships, where I was working as a machine learning intern in a famous telecommunication company, which expands throughout Europe, I was given a task to build a proof of concept for an anonymizer application, which can anonymize or hide the personal information from the provided text. Now, to give you a bigger picture of it, the company deals with a huge amount of customer data, the data in terms of customer feedback, customer tweets, customer complaints, and etc. And to provide better support to its customers, the company wanted to store this data so that it can later use that data to improve their products or resolve some customer issues. But according to the information security law in Europe, which is called the GDPR, the companies are restricted to hold any personal data of its customers without their consent. So an idea was floated to develop an anonymizer application internally, which can be used to hide personal information, like the first names and the last names of the customer, so that under the GDPR guidelines, the data can be stored and used by the company. So using a thought process of a generic software developer, I started off by developing a rule-based matching algorithm where I created a database which contains the first names and the last names of people from different European countries, and write a code to take a text document as an input, parse it word by word, and match the individual words with the names within the database. And if the name matches, I will anonymize them. And once the algorithm scans all the input text document, I will save it in another text document, which can later be saved by the company. I can also quickly show you a sample code which I wrote just now on how this rule-based matching algorithm actually works. So we can directly log in to Google, and we will be working with the Google Colab, which is a very fine cloud-hosted Jupyter notebook kind of environment, so you don't have to install anything inside it. Just you can use your own Google account to open this Google Colab. So when you are going to open it, it's going to ask you that if you have any recent notebooks that you want to work on, and I have already created one, so I can just quickly log into it. So this is kind of a very similar Jupyter notebook kind of environment which you can have, and here you see that it's already connected to a runtime, and I can just directly walk you through the code. So the first thing first is you have to enter, or you have to input an input.txt file. Let me take a text document which I want to anonymize. I will put it here, input.txt. Okay, and then just run this cell. So it is taking this input.txt file in a read manner, and it's going to store that in a doc variable. And then let's just print it to see that what this document looks like. So it's a very simple document. Hello everyone, my name is Bashir Ali, and I am a master's student in Germany. I work at Fox-based GmbH. Tim Cook is my friend and likes to cook noodles, and another line. So there you can see that there are a lot of names which we want to anonymize in order to save this file. So then I created a function called rule-based anonymizer, which matches the input text with the names inside the database, as I showed you in the presentation, and anonymize them if they match us. So what we are doing first, we are taking this document and we are splitting it line by line. So we are first considering every one line at a time. This just means that. Then we are further parsing those lines into a single word. So we are now taking word by word. Next up, we are using the regular expression, which is a very powerful tool in Python to match the patterns and find them. So now we have individual words from our input.txt, and now we want to match every word with all the names in the database. And if the names matches, if words in names, if they match, then we want to anonymize them. Anonymizing just means that we want to replace the original word inside the input document with asterisk, with the same length, of course. And if those individual words inside the txt file does not match with the names in the database, then you can just keep that original word and append the result list. So let me just quickly show you that how this algorithm is working here. And we are calling this algorithm and passing the database inside it. So database, I have kept this database directly the names, but in a production kind of environment, what you would be doing, that you would be creating the database in kind of a CSV file, or you have some MySQL database or something, and then you will be reading those names using pandas data frame or whatever. And then you can store them inside in this kind of a list. So quickly run this code, and there we can see that the names, most of the names got anonymized. So hello everyone, my name is Mubashir Ali. So what the algorithm is doing, it's parsing every one word. First of all, it was taking just one line at a time. Then it was further parsing into words. Every word is going to be matched with the database, and we can see that hello does not fall in any of those names inside the database. So that's why it doesn't get anonymized. But you can see that it was Mubashir and Ali. So here we have Mubashir and here we have Ali, so it got anonymized. Next up, nothing got anonymized. Now here you can see the actual limitation of the rule-based matching algorithm. The name was Tim Cook, is my friend and likes to cook noodles. So here we see that there are two cooks. Tim Cook, one cook is a part of a name, and the other one is just a verb. So if you are going to put this cook inside the database, it's always going to get anonymized. But if you don't put this inside it, none of them is going to be anonymized. So that's why here cook and this cook is not getting anonymized. So how our human brain works is basically we know that this cook is a part of a name. So this is basically the entity of this word is a proper noun. And this one is just a verb. We know that we interpret it in this way. That's why we are able to identify that this is a part of a name, and this is just a verb. But the computer are not so intelligent as we humans are, so that's why they are not able to identify this. Moving forward, the name was what was the input? Alfred Winters want to travel to Austria in winters. Now here, winters. This winters is a part of a name, and this winters is a season. And we can just quickly see inside the database if this is there. Oh yeah, winters. So that's why if we put this winters into the database, both of them are going to be anonymized. This is kind of a very big limitation that if we are going to save this thing in a file, so we are going to be following the GDPR guidelines by anonymizing all the names of the personal information, and now we are going to we are authorized to save this information. But whenever we are further going to later, we are going to retrieve this this information, and we will try to do some analytics. It's going to be very difficult for us to make any kind of analytics because wants to travel to Austria in winter. So let's say the person wants to go to Austria in winters, and then he wants to use our products or our services, but in which season we don't know. So how we are going to improve our services specifically for winter season? So that was the major limitation that I had. The next bunch of code is just going to save it inside a txt, inside an output.txt file. So whatever was inside, it got anonymized, and the result was saved into the output. So this is the same result that we have printed here. And you can see that the format of the input file and the output file are always the same. Just it got anonymized. So now here, and there is another limitation of it. As I developed my database, let's say here, my database grew to around 100,000 names. And if you see closely that the rule-based matching algorithm works, that it takes every single word and it from the input.txt document and matches with all the names inside the database, which means that this one word needs to be matched with the 100,000 names. And you can just imagine that if the input document is not of just 5 sentences, but it contains more, then how much time it would take to anonymize a single document. So I was exploring options on how to overcome this issue, and I found out that this issue can be solved using a machine learning technique called NLP. Furthermore, NLP techniques can provide or predict the insights about your text. For example, with NLP, you can do parts of speech tagging to identify that what is subject, what is verb, what are nouns, what are pronouns in your text. And you can find also the named entities within your text, like which word is a person, which word is an organization, on which word is a date or a season or something like that. So if you are able to find the entities, you can use that information to anonymize the personal names. So this was the main idea behind this. And by diving deep, I found out Spacey, which is an open source library developed in Python and can solve complex NLP problems. Another great thing about it is that Spacey consists of pre-trained neural networks, which are trained on different languages like English, French, Italian, and I think it supports more than 20 languages, if I remember that correctly. Either you can train your own model with your own data, or you can simply use one of the Spacey's pre-trained models in different languages and quickly get started. So in the next video, I will explain Spacey in more detail and do a hands-on session on how to write a simple code to build an anonymizer for this use case. And then we will compare the accuracy of rule-based matching algorithm and machine learning algorithms to see that which are more accurate and more efficient. So see you in part 2 of the tutorial. Please stay tuned for that.